In this installment, we're going to be going over the Week 10 early slate for this Sunday. Let's get into it. In this installment, we're going to be going over the Week 10 early slate here for this Sunday. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetShetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 10.3 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 20K, and we're well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so you can grow to a much broader audience. All right, now for the Thursday night game, all right, we give a recap here. That's what we do over here. It went 0 for 2 on that. The over did not hit. This was the ugliest game I've ever watched, and they kept, see how Vegas does, they kept that spread within grasp the entire game, especially at the end where the Raiders missed the field goal. Broncos were up 3, and there was there's plenty of time for them to go back and score a touchdown, but they got a couple first downs, waste the Raiders timeouts, and literally just knee the game. In matter of fact, the Denver Broncos could have went up 10 the possession before, when Bo Nix throws a stupid interception that he had no business throwing that football. So we saw the foolery on Thursday. That's how they get their money back. All right. So no one's props hit on Thursday. That was the most underest under game ever for this entire season so far. That was a that was a super ugly game. All right. And then for the Broncos and Raiders, this is a stat that I should have been a little bit more held a little bit heavily, where it's the Broncos and Raiders last 5 home games, and they've been pretty good. The Raiders have been, before the win of the other day, they were 3-1. The Raiders were 3-1 in Denver. All right, in these matchups. All right, so as you can see, Broncos loss. A lot of these games look like overs, but taking the points was probably the best value yesterday. Unfortunately, even though it didn't feel like a good bet at all, the Broncos should have covered that number, but we know how Vegas works, and that was the play. That was the play. So we learned from our lessons here. For the Patreon, all right, we're already having a really solid night. We cashed in on North Carolina Tar Heels right there, money line. We cashed in on Raptors cover. We're waiting on this. We got the Spurs as well for the cover and the win. That came through, and we're waiting on a couple other plays. But the NBA is looking like we're smoking red hot. College basketball is smoking red hot. Remember, I said I have the national college basketball championship winner. I'm going to be posting that in a week. All right, so get in now for the futures. You do not want to miss out on the college basketball champion. I'm going to be posting that in a week. And then for the NBA Finals, I'm going to be posting that in a week as well. So you get 2 big futures with plenty of time, all right, and great odds, all right. So get in now. Click on that link provided down below. You're going to get full access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes out 24/7. In Soldier Field here, we have the Chicago Bears 5-3 going up against the New York Giants here 2-7. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here. Give me 1 second. All right, looking at the current odds here, we have the Chicago Bears as home favorites -220, with the comeback of the Giants at a +180. Total at 47, with the spread at a 4.5. Checking out the public bet percentage here, kicking off things with the money line. 80% of the bets and 78% of the money coming in on Chicago. For the total, 59% of the bets, 56% of the money coming in on the under 47. And for the spread here, 51% of the bets, 51% of the money on the Giants to cover as underdogs at that +4.5. All right. So Looking at this injury report coming in with the Giants, we got some similar injuries here as last week. Paulson Adebo is going to be out. Bo Collins, the rookie wide receiver, is going to be out. Victor Dumuke is going to be doubtful. Jermaine is questionable. Hopefully, he's looking like he's going to play. Graham Gano is going to be out. Chauncey Golston out. Darius Musow is going to be out. And John Michael Schmidt, center, is out. So they're missing another key component of the offensive line, their center. And for the Bears, this team comes in hampered as well. Josh Blackwell out. TJ Edwards out. That's a big loss. Dominique Robertson out. And Jade Walker is going to be out. We're waiting on news about DeAndre Hunter. He got a DNP on Friday. It's not injury related. It's a personal matter, but we're not sure if he's going to be able to go this Sunday. So that one you got to wait for as well. Cole Kmet looked like he's going to be back in the fold at tight end after Colston Loveland emerged last week. All right, so interesting matchup here between these two teams. You can say maybe that the Bears have been getting lucky as of late. They had a lot of close wins. That stretch where it was 25-24 back-to-back games against Washington and the Raiders, and they both eked out the win in those two games, and then they handled the Saints, got blown out by the Baltimore Ravens, and then squeaked by the Bengals there. Then a back-and-forth matchup. Giants, after that hot streak, they've been struggling, but they've been facing top competition here. Facing the Eagles twice, Denver and the 49ers all in the last 5 weeks. So the competition on this side here for the Giants, rough and rugged, but they've been playing close and tough against Denver. They beat Philly. They gave away the game against the Saints. And then obviously Philly bounced back, and then the 49ers handled the Giants as well. So this defense is going to be what the issue is on both sides. The Giants defense, especially with some of those injuries, they're being hampered. And then the Bears are there. They've been one of the worst defenses in the league. Both of these teams bottom 5 in total yards allowed, and bottom 5 in passing yards allowed and rushing yards allowed. This has definitely the remedy for an over game. So my top play in this one is going to be over 47. The question is going to be this cover. You got a weird number here in between 7 and 3, which are two key numbers. But I would lean the Giants to keep this within that 4.5. If you can bump it up to 7 and play it safe, I think you could do that as well. But I definitely see a back and forth matchup here between Jackson Dart, Caleb Williams. These defenses here, it's going to come down in that fourth quarter. Which pass rush is going to make a key play to get the opposite quarterback down, and that's what it's going to come down to. But top play over 47, secondary play Giants plus 4.5. I think with their strength of schedule the last couple weeks, I think they can keep it close and tight here against these Chicago Bears. In MetLife Stadium here, we have the New York Jets 1-7 going up against the Cleveland Browns here 2-6 in MetLife Stadium. Looking at the current odds for this one, Jets on the money line plus 110, comeback of the Cleveland Browns at a minus 130, total at 38, spread at 2. All right, so looking at the public bet percentage in this one here, we have a very public underdog. All right, so what you don't know is the Cleveland Browns before the trade deadline were 1.5 underdogs. Once the trades happened, Sauce Gardner gone to the Colts, Quinnen went to the Cowboys. The line flipped all the way over in favor of the Browns, and now you have Browns as road favorites. So technically, this is the Cleveland Browns as a very public team here. 66% of the bets, 86% of the money on the Cleveland Browns on the money line, 53% of the bets, 50% of the money on the under on the total of 38, and for the spread, 66% of the bets and money towards the Cleveland Browns to cover this spread at 2. All right, so that's very significant movement here, and I don't know if it's justified. All right, number one, Sauce Gardner wasn't even playing. He was hurt, and the team sucked with him anyway. And he had a ton of issues with penalties. I get it. If maybe we're playing bad, these were non-factors. Obviously, these are franchise type of players here. but this is not a franchise type of team in the New York Jets. As it currently is constructed, they were non-factors. All right, this team is going to take years to get right, and we needed that draft capital here, but it didn't justify the line movement for another bad team in the Cleveland Browns. All right, so looking at the injury report here, positive news. We have Garrett Wilson back in the fold. He said he's going to play here, and that's going to be a big weapon in addition to this offense to go alongside John Mechie and Adonai Mitchell, who have been acclimated here to the team and will be playing this week. We're just waiting. He does this every week with Aaron Glenn. Between the quarterback decision between Tyrod and Justin Fields, all indicators say Justin Fields, after his performance last week against the Bengals, phenomenal performance that he had, he's most likely going to start the game. Okay. For the Cleveland Browns, Isaiah Bond is going to be out. And that's about it. They seem pretty healthy. We're waiting on news about Harold Fannin. He's highly questionable with that DNP, and then limited on Friday. So wait on news about him as well. All right. So coming into this game here, we've got a Cleveland Browns team. Both these teams are poor. All right. The only key component with the Browns is that their defense has been very good. All right. Top 10 against passing yards allowed and top 10 in rushing yards allowed. And then obviously the Achilles heel for the Jets has been their defense. Now, the run defense in this game, because everyone is picking on Quinshon Judkins here to go off in this spot. That's mainly with two-dimensional offenses. All right, against the Bengals, of course, Chase Brown had some rushing lanes because there was so much other things to worry about. We had to worry about Jamar Chase. We had to worry about T. Higgins. We had to worry about Noah Fant. If you look back against Carolina, we stopped their run. Against Denver, we handled their run. These are low-scoring environments here where the defense stepped up and the offense couldn't function. All right, so with another one-dimensional team here in the Cleveland Browns, I expect the Jets defense here to stop the run yet again, like they did against Carolina, like they did against Denver as well. So in this spot here on the other side, looking in, Cleveland Browns have been struggling, obviously, losing 4 of their last 5 games, getting blown out by New England. And in that game against New England, Drake May was able to run for 50 yards rushing. All right, I can only imagine what Justin Fields can do if Drake May can run for 50. The Jets are going to focus on the run game here. They gave away most of their assets. Breece Hall is now one of the marquee guys here, him and Garrett Wilson. They're going to be relying on the run game and utilizing their offense and O-line, and then go off of that. I think the value in this game is clearly on the Jets. I love them at the +2. Give me that as the number 1 play. +2 Jets. Secondary play, Jets on the money line. In Olympic Stadium, Berlin here, we have the Colts 7-2 going against the Atlanta Falcons 3-5. Looking at the current odds for this one, Colts technically are the home team, -295 on the money line, with the comeback of the Falcons at a +240, total at 48.5, spread at 6.5. For the public bet percentage here, looking at that money line, 90% of the bets, 73% of the money on the side of the Colts. For the total, 57% of the bets coming in on the under. And we got 51% of the money coming on the over, 48.5. Sharps are leaning towards the over in this game. And for the spread, 61% of the bets and coming in on the Colts to cover. That's the public. 55% of the money, sharps, are coming in on the Falcons to cover this +6.5 on that spread. All right, very interesting to see here. Looking at the injury report, Falcons, we have some key injuries. Leonard Floyd is going to be out. Matt Bergeron is out, and Storm Norton. So 2 key offensive linemen are going to be out of this game, and one of their better pass rushers, Leonard Floyd, is going to be out as well. For the Colts, they're missing some key guys in the heart of the defense here. DeForest Buckner will be out of this game. Samson Ibukam is going to be out. Taekwon Lewis is going to be out. So that's 3 DNs. So that's a big question mark for a team that is known to stopping the run. You're missing 3 key D linemen here going up against Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. Maybe the Colts start giving up some rushes here in this game. The positive news is the Colts get Sauce Gardner. All right, Sauce Gardner will be playing in this game here. All right, I don't know how much that's going to help when we're missing 3 key defensive linemen here versus a team that runs the ball. All right, now if we're looking at the numbers here on the side of the Colts, they have been giving up obviously that's why they went out and got Sauce, the 26 most passing yards allowed per game. So Michael Penix, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, they have an avenue here to definitely pick apart this team. Drake London is against Sauce Gardner is a great matchup, and a matchup that Drake London should win easily. Because of how Sauce plays, how he's very handsy, these referees aren't playing around with that anymore. We'll see how they call it in Berlin. I'm very interested to see how they call it in Berlin with Drake London and Sauce Gardner. It's going to be very interesting to see. Don't forget about Darnell Mooney as well. Now, the key strength of the Colts is their run stopping ability, but they're 4th overall. But like I said, we have 3 key injuries on that D line. 3 guys are missing, and the heart of the defense in DeForest Buckner. And let me double check the stats against the Steelers. Against the Steelers, they handled the run in that one. They really didn't need the run. They were just moving the ball passing wise with Arthur Smith's offense. So I could see a very similar situation here with Michael Penix moving the football passing wise, but this is a different caliber running back. All right, Jalen Warren compared to Bijan Robinson, 2 different running backs here and 2 different offensive lines as well. All right, so this particular spot, we got the Falcons coming in off 3 losses in a row. The Colts, can they bounce back from the loss against Pittsburgh after a very long hot streak? I think 6.5 is too many points. All right, this is a neutral site. 6.5. They're giving them a touchdown. I think that's a little bit too much. And I like the Falcons defense in this one here to at least keep them in the game. And we do have avenues here for offenses to be scored. All right, so I can see the 48. That's why I see some sharps leaning towards it slightly. But my favorite play here is the Falcons. Top play, Falcons plus 6.5. Secondary play in a lean would be over 48.5. But give me the Falcons and the points in a neutral site here in Berlin with this Colts team coming off a loss here, and they're out one of their leaders on the defense in DeForest Buckner. In Hard Rock Stadium here, we have in division battle AFC East Dolphins 2-7, Buffalo Bills 6-2. Looking at the current odds for this game here, starting off with the Bills on the money line minus 500. Come back at the Dolphins at a plus 375. Total at 50. Spread at 9.5. Public bet percentage here. Starting off with that money line, 97% of the bets, 99% of the money all over Buffalo. For the total, 53% of the bets, 53% of the money on the under 50. And for the spread here, 82% of the bets, 87% of the money here on Buffalo to cover the 9.5. All right. Injury report here. Bills coming in here pretty hampered. Shaq Thompson is going to be out. We got AJ Epineza out as well. Christian Benford is looking like he's not going to play in this game. They're one of their top corners. He's right now questionable, but definitely stay tuned to news on him. And that seems to be it here for the Buffalo Bills. For the Dolphins, D. Eskridge is out. Russell Douglas is out. Chop Robinson is new. He's going to be doubtful in this game. We got Q tags on Julian Hill, Ali Gordon, Ashton Davis. And everyone else should be fine here for the Dolphins. Obviously, this team is struggling and tanking here, currently 2-7. All right, but this is an in-division matchup here. And in previous games here in Miami between these two teams, obviously Dolphins have struggled 1-4 in these games against the Bills. We have a 3-point game. We have a complete blowout. Buffalo beat them by 35. We have a Dolphins win. We have Dolphins only losing by 7, and then a complete blowout here. Dolphins losing by 21. So 2 out of the 5 games, they would have covered the number of 9.5, and 3 of the 5 games, a little bit closer than what you expect, in a win. All right, now this currently constructed team here with the Dolphins should not get any respect at all. All right, rushing yards allowed 30th in the league. James Cook is in a phenomenal position. I don't expect the Bills and Josh Allen to really light it up here, because they don't really have to. They really don't have to here. This Bills defense should be able to handle all the struggles here with the Dolphins offense here and be in a good position, because the Bills have a solid defense here. Strong performance against Carolina and KC. Dolphins on the other end, this is a Swiss cheese defense, and as you can see, 28 points given up against Baltimore, 31 against Cleveland, 29 against the Chargers, and 27 against Carolina. So putting up points, putting up 20 plus should be fairly easy here for the Buffalo Bills. The question mark will be the Dolphins. Can they stay in the range of 9.5? So ultimately, my top play in this one, I don't think the Dolphins offense is going to be strong in this one, but I do like the Bills to get up early, control the pace here, and go out easily in that second half with a win. I like the under 50 on the total. Okay, I don't expect this to be a big, huge blowout game here, or back and forth. I like the under 50 on the total as my main play. Secondary play will be the Bills covering the 9.5. But main play, give me the under on the total in this game. In US Bank Stadium here, we have the Minnesota Vikings 4-4 going against the Baltimore Ravens 3-5. Looking at the current odds for this one, Ravens on the road -210 with the comeback of the Vikings at a +170. Total at 49. Spread at 4. All right. Looking at the public bet percentage in this one. Money line, 80% of the bets, 83% of the money on Baltimore. For the total, 52% of the bets coming in on the under, 60% of the money coming in on the over. For the spread, we have 51% of the bets, 50% of the money on Baltimore to cover this spread. It's split down the middle here between sharps and public. All right. Now, for this injury report here, we got Marlon Humphreys, he's fine. Ronnie Stanley, DNP, he was resting. Vikings are only the team with the issues here. Jeff Okudah out, Josh Oliver out, and everyone else should be fine here for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, in this game here, kicking things off, Ravens bouncing back here, getting their leader back in Lamar Jackson, and handling business against the Miami Dolphins 28-6. They're well rested here, obviously, because since they played the Thursday, they had a couple extra days here to get ready for the Minnesota Vikings. And then the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy back, it makes you think, like, hey, the Vikings might got a shot here. They beat Detroit. That was an in-division matchup in Detroit here. That was a homecoming game for J.J. McCarthy. He went to Michigan, all right? So he was very comfortable in that environment, playing in that stadium in front of those fans. And they came out with a nice, tough win here against an opponent that they definitely know, all right? 27-24. This is a total different monster here with the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. This high proficient offense here should be able to pick apart this Vikings defense. And I get it. If we're looking at the stats here, defensively, they've stepped up, all right? Getting Lamar Jackson back, this defense has turned things around ever since that Rams game. So the last 3 weeks, this has been a top-tier defense here, playing much better football. And you add that and coincide that with Lamar Jackson, this is a major issue here for the Vikings. Give me the Ravens -4 as my top play. I'm very confident in this one here. Ravens -4. If we're looking at the total, I would lean the under. I would go under. I think the Ravens put up points. I think that we have some struggles here offensively from J.J. McCarthy, and this under hits as well. So top play, the one that we're going to bank on, give me -4 on the Ravens. Looking how they've played the last couple weeks, and this team should be going on a run now. All right, getting fully healthy, getting their leader back. Ravens -4, lean towards the under 49 as a secondary play. In Raymond James Stadium here, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 6-2, going against the New England Patriots 7-2. Looking at the current odds for this one, we have the Buccaneers as home favorites -145. Come back at the Patriots at a +120. Total at 48. Spread at 2.5. Public bet percentage here. Starting off with that money line, 59% of the bets, 62% of the money, all on Tampa Bay. For the total here, 81% of the bets, 80% of the money towards the under 48 in the total. And for the spread, 60% of the bets, 52% of the money on the side of New England to cover this number here. Now, injury report here for this game. We have Chris Godwin going to be out for the Buccaneers. Bucky Irving out yet again. Hassan Reddick is going to be out. That's a big loss. And Marquise Watts, another outside linebacker, is going to be out as well. So 2 pass rushers are going to be out here for the Buccaneers. For the Patriots, Kayshon Boutte is out. Christian Ellis is out, and Ramondre Stevenson out. We get another opportunity to see Trevion Henderson be the bulk carrier here. So hopefully we get some positive play here from him in this second game as a starter. All right, now this matchup here, we have the Red Hot Patriots on a 6-game winning streak here, smoking everybody, beating Buffalo, and beating up on some easier competition, Cleveland, Tennessee, New Orleans, beating Atlanta as well in a close game. Tampa Bay, a little bit of an up and down, losing to Philly, losing to Detroit, handled the Saints, coming off a bye. So they have plenty of time to prepare here for the Patriots here. But Drake May is, he's playing like Tom Brady. No, he's playing like Josh Allen, really, because he has the capabilities to run that football as well. Very dynamic QB here. This Pats defense is the same defense here that we've seen from Mike Vrabel with the Tennessee Titans. It's a pass funnel, all right? They stop the run, and they force you to throw the football. And that's why their passing yards allowed is higher, which is 20th compared to what they allow rushing yards. They do not allow rushing yards. So there's going to be another tough day in the office here for for Rachaad White and Sean Tucker. It's going to make Baker Mayfield one-dimensional. He's going to have to create utilizing his legs and obviously plays that break down, creating from that as well. All right, on the other end here, Bucks are strong against the run as well, but they're not as strong. It's a 20-yard difference here. This team can be susceptible against the run as well. We saw it against that Detroit game with Tampa Bay against Detroit and some other occasions as well. So definitely a spot where the Patriots have an avenue rushing the ball, and they definitely have an avenue attacking the secondary here with Drake May, Stephon Diggs, and company. All right, so interesting spot here. There's kind of like giving you value, not per se giving you the value here, but everyone is expecting that this is where the train stops with the Patriots. And I say maybe it doesn't. All right, so give me the value on the Patriots on the road. Give me the +2.5. If I had a 3, I buy the 3. Buy the 3. Take the 3.5. All right. Give me the Pats 3.5. It's not going to cost you much. It's going to be probably like -130. Give me the Pats +3.5 main play, secondary play in this game. It could be a shootout. If we got Baker getting away from the run game and throwing the football. We got Drake May, a little two-dimensional here. They can pass. Maybe Trevion gets loose. He's super explosive. I like the over 48 as a secondary play, all right? But main play +3.5 Patriots. In Bank of America Stadium, Carolina Panthers 5-4, New Orleans Saints 1-8. Looking at the odds for this one here, Panthers at home -250 with the comeback of the Saints at a +200. Total at 38.5. Spread at 5.5. Public bet percentage here in this one, starting off with that money line, we have 93% of the bets, 96% of the money all over Carolina. For the total, 54% of the bets, 65% of the money on the over 38.5. And for the spread, 67% of the bets, 76% of the money on Carolina to cover the 5.5 on the total. Injury report here. Chandler Zavala, guard, is going to be out of this game here. Everyone else is going to be fine for the Panthers. Tedero McMillan will be fine in this game, and Rico Dowdle will play as well. All right. For the Saints, we got Alvin Kamara as highly questionable. Looking at the latest reports, he might be out. Talise Fuaga is going to be out for the Saints as well. And everyone else should be fine here. This is one of the worst teams in the league, and they have Tyler Shuck as their QB. All right, I think this is a game here in division matchup. I get it, but the Saints are a really, really bad team. All right, and that being 24th in the league rushing yards allowed per game, that does not bode well for a team here in the Panthers that run the football at a very high clip, especially the way that Rico Dowdle is playing right now. It's only going to help Bryce Young here in this game. And the Saints defense has been giving up top 10 QB finishes here, 3 in the last 3 weeks. All right, so this is a spot where I think the Panthers step up and they prove that they're a good football team. All right, good football team. That's an insider. All right, so Carolina Panthers here with the spread. Give me them minus 5.5 as the top play. Secondary play will be over 38.5. I think the Carolina Panthers put up a big number. And the Saints, last but not least, here in NRG Stadium, Texans 3-5, Jaguars 5-3. Looking at the odds for this one, this is pretty much a pick 'em here between these two AFC South division rivals here. Total at 37.5, spread at 1. All right, public bet percentage here. Looking at the money line, 56% of the bets coming in on Houston, 63% of the money here coming on Jaguars. That's the sharps. For the total, 68% of the bets, 65% of the money on the over. And for the spread, 58% of the bets, 70% of the money on Jacksonville to cover by 1. All right, injury report in this game, Jaguars. Ezra Cleveland out, Hunter Long, tight end, out, Brian Thomas Jr. out, Jordan Lewis out. So some key guys out here for the Jaguars. Same thing goes for the Texans, a little bit more here. Kai Feinbaum is going to be out. Christian Harris is going to be out. Titus Howard is going to be out. Ed Ingram is going to be out. Jalen Petrie is going to be out, their safety stud. And CJ Stroud, their captain, is going to be out. Jacob Johnson, running back, is going to be out as well. So this team here in the Texans absolutely decimated in this spot. This game here, big question mark. All right, so last year Texans dominated the Jaguars, dominated the AFC South last year, sweeping the Jaguars last year. This year, things will change here, and tides has turned. Jacksonville Jaguars, despite how up and down they are, I think they take full advantage of this current iteration of the Houston Texans. They already beat them once, and I think they sweep them in this one, just like what happened last year, opposite with the Texans sweeping the Jaguars in the regular season. Give me the Jaguars here on the money line. I think they, despite the fact that we've had a question marks here with this Jaguars pass defense, I don't think Davis Mills can exploit that issue, and I think the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence will be able to create some offense here, even if it has to be field goals against the Houston Texans in this spot on the road. All right, so top play here, Jaguars on the money line. Secondary play, I like the under 37.5 on the total in this one as well. So that's going to be our breakdown for the Week 10 early slate. Let me know in that comment section down below if you agree or disagree. We could definitely debate about that. Also, get signed up for the Patreon. We have finished off pretty strongly here in the Patreon with some big wins. If you, as I was doing this video, we came through. Spurs money line, Raptors money line, they all covered. The top play that I had was the Bucks on the money line. That came through, and we have this plus 1228 parlay that cashed here. If you played all my plays on the Patreon, North Carolina, Orlando, Spurs, Raptors. And I threw in the Miami Heat there. That cash 10 for 130 at a nice plus 1228 parlay right there. So if you missed out already, but you have an opportunity to get in on the Patreon this weekend. Click on that link provided down below. You're going to get full access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. It's your boy Chef D. I'll be back very soon, and peace out.